Hello, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at, um, or good evening. I am feeling called to talk today a little bit more about authenticity. Um, and when I'm feeling cold, I guess I could go change my clothes, but I feel like in the moment is better. So here it is. So I was doing some gratitude journaling, um, which has been life changing. Honestly, this practice has been such a game changer um, in terms of trying to find a more natural way to ease into doing this whole flip or switch or shift in perspective, because that's what it is. It's training yourself, or a daily practice, or a moment to moment coming back to those things in your life which bring you joy and contentment, as opposed to putting all of your focus and time and attention on those things that absolutely remind you of lack and place you in a state of lack. Because, again, where your attention goes, that then grows, right? Um, I feel like I keep saying that because it's a YouTube ad that keeps coming up and they said something like that, but it's true. So, in doing some gratitudes today, I was thinking about authenticity in terms of wow, when I stopped trying to put myself in boxes and force other people's identities onto myself, or try to try to best sort of pick and choose where I fit best, right? When I stopped doing that, and I got a big ass box, right? And I wrote my name on it, right? And I just put my whole self in that box, and that's it. And I just started living from that place and from that solid faith that that's all I need. My whole life really did begin to shift. I began to be a lot easier on myself with this recognition that this box didn't say ADHD on it. It didn't say OCD on it. It didn't say recovering alcoholic on it. It didn't say a parent who's lost a child, right? It didn't say um, a sufferer of an eating disorder for over half your life. It didn't say emotional dysregulation. It didn't say these things on it, right? Like these ways that we tend to relate to other people. It just says my name. So from that starting point, all I'm trying to do is just relate to self, to myself. And I get to choose those things that I throw my attention at, put my attention on and my focus on. Like, um, not these negative things, right? So instead, um, now I'm a runner, right? I'm a runner, and my eating disorder is in remission. So I'm a runner who actually leads a very healthy, productive life. And productivity to me doesn't look the same as it looks to you. And because I've had this shift, I now am very, very comfortable with what my level of productivity looks like. Because every day it's different. But every day it meets my specific needs. And every day I now allow myself to slow down enough to even know what those needs are. I wake up slow. If if you get if you have that luxury, or you can take the extra 5 minutes before you get out of bed to really try and keep your mind in that gray clear area of not settling on one thing to start thinking about. I gotta get up, I gotta brush my teeth, I've gotta get tea or coffee started, I've gotta get the kids fed. Yeah. Oh, and on top of all of that, maybe I'll get in a couple push-ups or a bagel, or that self-care that's actually necessary, like food. But that little amount of time that we can allow ourselves to allow our imaginations to bring forth the ideas, to allow the universe and God and our angels to bring forth a few ideas into that space, because we're just waking up. Our head isn't so full. And before we start doing that and overloading ourselves, to just see what's resonating naturally, what pops up. Maybe parts of your dream might come to you, and it might actually be very synchronistic to what's going on with your life. Maybe you can make some very clear delineations between real life and dream state. Or maybe you could take it as a sign, some things to look out for throughout your day, some things to be excited about, or some things to actually be excited about because you feel like you've released something or come to an awareness of something. But anyhow, I just don't feel like we're in take it to the middle of your day. I don't know if many of us really are taking the time at the middle of our day, at our busiest point, to really be thinking about those other states of existence that we absolutely walk in. So yeah, I really think that 5-minute pause before we get out of bed is necessary. And when you start giving that to yourself and start doing that for yourself, I think you'll see a huge difference. I really do. And that's about all I have for today, to be honest with you, is just this idea of if you're gonna put yourself in a box, just have your name on it, right? And make it a box that's ever expanding so that you yourself can be ever expanding. And make it a box that's not judgmental, right? Make it a kind, compassionate, empathetic box if you need to be in one, right? And just to make today the day you start really respecting yourself, because that self-respect is going to take you right to self-love. Yeah, and living from a place of self-love, self-respect, garners you self-worth. And all of these beautiful things you will start attracting, like people, places, and things. It's not really rocket science. It's not. You'll wake up one day and you'll just feel better. You'll feel different. And it's the baby steps that you take. It's the small changes to your habits, your daily habits, that make the biggest difference in your life. But you have to start somewhere. I don't think 5 minutes in the morning is too much to ask of yourself, to ask of your family to give you. For you to just gather yourself and not wake up like a damn freight train that's chaotic and loud and just, it's absurd. We don't, like, why the chaos immediately after such peace from sleep? Even if it's not peaceful, your body is in a resting state. Be nice to your body. Wake up slow. Be nice to your brain. Let it turn on naturally, right? I understand routines. I understand time constraints. Children, I actually do. Start trying to understand you, because if you want a healthier, happier home in general, that just starts with you. It's got to come from you first, and then it resonates, radiates outward, and it's very catching. It's very, very catching when you start to become more healthy, when you start to really do the glow up from the inside out. People notice. Some might be envious, yes, we can talk about that, but I don't want to put my attention on that. I want to put my attention on the positive benefits, not just for you, but for the people around you. The whole world. As Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. It starts with you. Stay in your lane for a week or two. I understand other people's needs might be yours as well, especially if you have children and spouses, animals, plants, employees. Absolutely. But if you're running on empty or in the negative, I gasp. But that's more common than we all want to even realize. You're not helping anybody. You're just not. Stop lying to yourself. Let's get real. Let's stop lying to ourselves and start nurturing ourselves. It starts here, it starts today, it starts with you. I'm sending you all so much love and light. I sincerely love the hell out of every single one of you. I do. Every time I'm going for a run, I'll leave it at this though. I talk to Source, right, and my angels, and I communicate, and it's a great time to do that. And God came in, and it was a very direct question. Who are you doing this for? And that was so, I said honestly, at the end of the day, I get up and I do this for me, and I do it for you, and then I do it for everybody, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's the truth. If I can make these changes, these huge changes, I really never thought my life would get any different, any better. I didn't think it was possible because there were so many layers of trauma, so many layers of bad habits, and no confidence. But here I am, working at it every day. And that's the main thing. Just throw some attention at it every day. Start somewhere. 5 minutes in the morning. 5 minutes in the morning. Let some things come naturally to you. See what happens. Say some nice things to yourself. Set a good intention or two for your day. Just an intention. There's no need to attach expectations to these things, but you'd be surprised when you set your intentions how easily, right? Effortlessly they sort of happen, because you're setting them in this half-awake state where you're not forcing anything. Life does not need to be forced, over-controlled, overproduced. None of that. It just needs to be authentic. I really think that's the goal here. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you have the most wonderful day.